sinister. Yeah, alright, my flow sinister.
Soldier Field opened back in 1924 with the Bears becoming 10-71, and what a home field advantage it has become here in Chicago. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Fields on first down. They'll set up the screen to Herbert. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The Bears at 500 now, 4-4 on the year. They're coming feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A bullet throw, but incomplete. Was that the incorrect read or just more an error on the throw by the quarterback?
I lean more towards the latter because it seemed like he was open there, just missed him on the throw.
And a tough one to miss because now you're dealing with a 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. A great field position for them, Charles, to start that drive, and not a lot of yardage to be had. They do, however, come away with a long field goal.
Yeah, and that's a plus. I mean, give them credit for that. They start the game 3-0. Don't come away empty-handed on this opening possession. And one other thing, it's a 50-plus yard field goal. Let's give the kicker a little respect as well. Those kind of kicks aren't routine.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him, feet were moving, the legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his off-season working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
Back to the ground on first down, Edmonds. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, They want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game. Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. And he'll take this one down to the 36. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Now throwing on 3rd down there. Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense. It's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the right hash, this from 53. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins are going to tie the score at 3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team? They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Here's a throw out line complete to his running back right side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. Now a first carry for their fullback. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Fields. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and not get free.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw is Bridgewater. Open man downfield. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it, and not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so. And there's your end result right there.
Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out.
And the ball is knocked out. And the Dolphins have got it.
Whenever I see a team turning back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. These two teams all tied after 1. In the nickel. No, wait, they're in the dime. 6 DBs out there on 3rd.
Could play an exotic coverage.
Here's Bridgewater. Right back to Judy, and it's complete. And he needed to get to the midfield straight, but he can't do it. He's about a yard short. So he'll get 8 out of that completion. And 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they are winners of 2 straight games as they have climbed back to 500 now on the season.
And you and I both know this can be a tough team to figure out sometimes because I remember a few weeks ago you and I having a conversation where we both thought that this was a season that could get away from them pretty quickly. Obviously not.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Play action. It's Fields. Under a heavy rush. reception. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, they certainly took too long to set up play action. That gave the pass rush time to get home for its first sack of the game. For their sake, they may start to think about the quick game and leave play action alone for a little while.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And he's going to take this down close to a first down at about the Bears' 30. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Play fake. Bridgewater. Got a man. It's Judy, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. They'll run on. Oh, Edmonds has it knocked loose. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Do you remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and, you know, guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they take over in a precarious spot here, albeit after forcing the fumble at the goal line. This is safety territory as they start from their own 1. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think can absorb that contact.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Third and 2, Fields. Got his man, that's Harry. And he gets it to the 30 when it's all said and done. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing again is Fields. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. One play action, Fields. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a two-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And he's got some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
First down, Bridgewater. Touchdown! Cedric Wilson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 17-3. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of it. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Trying to run inside, but nothing there.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Bridgewater. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Melvin Ingram able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Third and long. It's Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. The tackle by Robert Quinn. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Bridgewater now. Caught by Wilson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more.
So first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
That's a tremendous start to the third quarter. These guys had their foot on the gas the entire first half. They continue to keep the accelerator down.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, But I think they told him, guys, if he wants to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
On 2nd and 11 now. Bridgewater over the middle, complete to Judy. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Out to the right here to Wilson. And they get him down about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. 3rd down pickup of 5.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Starting on the ground with Herbert. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Another carry for Herbert on 2nd down. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Fields. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Fields now to throw. Got a man open. That's Harry. And they're going to get this up to midfield. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
It sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think is...
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Tyrann Mathieu, normally known for the pass coverage, this time a sack.
And the passing game's been struggling a bit today, and that was the latest example. Haven't been getting much yardage out of it, and now on his back after the last play, he faces 3rd and long.
Here's Fields. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And the Dolphins will take over possession here up at the 44. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
2nd down and another run with Edmonds. Oh, good move. Oh, look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Chase Edmonds, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 18 now. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. That is caught. It's Dante Pettis. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Here's a give to Herbert. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 44 yards on the ground for him so far.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
On 2nd down and 4. Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
The Bears take over 1st and 10. The Bears take over 1st and 10.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's fourth down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. They're continuing to rock and roll, and at intermission, you know, maybe sometimes you fear after such a good first half of a letdown, but that wasn't the case.
And what I remember most about being in those situations is exactly what you're talking about. You almost have that sense of satisfaction. You're like, we're doing really well. I remember one time someone saying, winning's fun, but so is playing really well. Why would we want to do otherwise? That was the message, to keep the intensity up, to keep things going, and that's exactly what we're seeing here from this team.
Yeah, it's helped them extend their lead. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run with Edmonds again. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Justin Jones there on the stop.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
He'll return it from the 6. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
20.
Throwing is Newton. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
This pass on target, Velus Jones with it. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Newton throwing again. Man open, here is Jones. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 29-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now it's Newton looking for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Draw play, a give to Herbert. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Newton. Pass to the right. There's Jones. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And this game well in hand. Perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Herbert is into the end zone for a Bears touchdown.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they won to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Newton now to throw. He's going to let it fly. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
2nd down and another run with Edmonds. 128 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost.